is this again?
We are at Tabletop Punks, baby. What's going on, guys?
Oh yeah. What's
you
going
doing?
on, buddy?
We got James Hutt, we got JonJonTheWise. That's me. We're talking games, tabletop games. James, how are you?
I'm doing great. I've been writing a lot, man. The weather's been getting better. We had this crazy heat wave in Seattle, but now that's done. So I've been working. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, but we got GenCon on the horizon, like staring down the beast in about a week. So
Oh yeah.
we got a pretty stacked episode. This might sound a little bit more like a podcast you might remember for a little bit in the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, look, we always said we'll talk about Cyberpunk stuff if Cyberpunk stuff is what's going on. I've been running the jacket, so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Fossilized Violence. You just debuted it at the last convention that you were at, right?
We showed it to a very select few people at that show. This show is going to be the first chance for people to demo it.
There you go.
Really members of the public and not, weird people in the games industry.
Exactly. Yeah, that was
the real people we so serve.
Yeah, not Gamma, which is what you're talking about, that's the insider convention. You're talking about Gen Con. It's like
the people who own comic book stores. Gen Con's the big one.
Yeah, it's the mecca for tabletop gaming, tabletop RPGs. You're going to see all the big names there, Paizo, Wizards of the Coast, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Artel's definitely going to be there. There's info for that. You guys can go to artelsoaringgames.com. They just put up a blog of where their booth's going to be. Make sure you go to Monster Fight Club as well and check out their stuff. I will have a link in the description below if you want to buy stuff from Monster Fight Club, which are the official Cyberpunk Red minis. If you use that link, I get a little kickback. You know how it works.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's sponsored by Monster Fight Club.
I'm an affiliate, baby. I'm a Monster Fight Club affiliate. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. But
no,
of course,
I'm talking to a Monster Fight Club affiliate.
Well, show some respect. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Also, JamesHuttGames.com. There's a new newsletter that just came out recently. Make sure you guys sign up to that so you can get all the updates for James games. You know what? Why don't we just get straight into that? What kind of games, James Hutt stuff have you been working on?
So I did this last newsletter, and the newsletter is the best way to think of them is they're like drops. So this last one was, I think it was a 40-ish page game mechanic. I'm calling them system showcases. And these are just interesting ideas that I'm working on. When I get it to a point where there's a full little idea that's a part of a bigger idea, I'm going to put it out and show it to you. Just because I want James Hutt Games to be a place where I interact directly with the people that are interested in the things I'm doing. And not like once every 2 years when I have a full book to release. So yeah, we did just put out a brand new thing. And I will be re-releasing it in the next drop. So get into this one. But yeah, no, it's a fantasy thing. I think you might be interested. I wanna get into it more a little bit later though.
Okay,
we talked about that for a little bit. It's called Mixed Blood Heroes.
Yeah, yeah. Let's check that out later. So Gen Con, let's talk about Gen Con. You're getting ready for that. How are your feelings? What are you preparing for?
Oh, well, the big thing for me is the Fossilized Violence demo. Going to be at Gen Con. There's going to be a talk that I'm doing there for 5 by Infinity, which is the line I manage at Tal.
Yeah, I believe the tagline is "Pitch us your game." So 5 by Infinity is Artel Sorian's little baby sister wing.
That's our indie imprint. That's where we're going to put out indie stuff, and we want to work with cool people. So we figured let's let them talk to us. And there'll be time after to talk to me as well if you feel pretty shy. But we're also using that seminar to talk about the first thing we're putting out in 5 by I, which is Fossilized Violence. That's a plastic dinosaur compatible tabletop role playing game. You get to dust off your plastic dinosaurs, play with them on a table, fight some dinos as some cavemen. So that's pretty fun. And like I said, it's the first time we're showing it and letting people take their first look at it. It's currently in editing too, so very excited with that.
Nice, congrats. I actually saw some dinosaurs at a store recently, and it wasn't like the tiny ones. They were like, you know, like a little bit bigger, but not like high quality, like mid quality, I would say. But that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh man, I should buy all these for Fossilized Violence.
There you go. It's amazing the difference in plastic dinosaur, high-end plastic dinosaur money, and then like I want to buy a like tabletop role-playing game miniature money.
Yeah.
$50 goes a lot longer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
$50 you could probably get every dinosaur in the book. I mean, it's like there's 25 of them.
Well, I mean, dude, like the entry level for most skirmish games, war games, all that is way cheaper than anything you see at Warhammer.
Of course. Yeah. Warhammer's only there because it's Warhammer.
Yeah. I mean, like we were just talking about Monster Fight Club Combat Zone, like $150, dude. You're in deep. You got you could get like 4 or 5 gangs, I think, or 4 gangs with 150, or might be 3, but I'm not sure. But that's a lot. That's all you need is 1, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely am more into the like skirmish level tier stuff. I don't know. I like to I don't know. I like parts of wargaming that people think are kind of cringe, so I'm not gonna out myself.
You might think so. You might say so, but you'll be surprised when we talk about Age of Sigmar, which I've been playing. I'll tell you about a skirmish mode that's within the game.
Sweet. Yeah. So before we get too far away from it, the big thing, the 2 big things this GenCon from Artal, we got the Shadow Scar starter set is being released. So that's the everything you need to play Shadow Scar in one box. It's that initial box set release to get people started and playing.
Jumpstart kit.
It's a starter set.
So it's more than that
because it's not beta rules.
Got it.
These are final rules.
Yeah.
You know, the Jumpstart kit for Cyberpunk was released in a time where there was a lot of things going on, and it's pandemic around the corner. And,
well, no, yeah. To be fair, the excitement was palpable, and like everyone wanted to get their hands on something. So you guys were like, "Hey, we'll just give you guys something to get you by until full release," because it was a mad fervor at that time, dude.
So speaking of Cyberpunk box sets, we've got a Cyberpunk box set for you at GenCon. We got the Cyberpunk Edgerunners Mission Kit. It's a box set. You get to play an epilogue to the anime and figure out what happens after the credits roll. I think it ties it in a great bow, and it's just a really fun adventure.
Yeah.
You've been running it, actually, John. So you speak to it. I only helped write it. So now it belongs to you.
It does. It belongs.
It belongs to you. It belongs to all of you now. So it's not mine anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that's cool, and it's got a lot of stuff for people who aren't just getting into Cyberpunk as well, like established players. Got the rules for the power weapons, the smart weapons, the tech weapons you know from the video game. A lot of the fan favorite weapons are totally statted in this. The other ones, they'll be coming later.
Yeah.
Can't talk about that, but I'm not going to forget about you.
Yeah, there's quick hacks.
I'm not that guy.
Can't forget about quick hacks, because I'll tell you, my Netrunner's been having a field day. A lot of fun.
And in the back, there are guidelines for playing in the era, getting started to play in the era of 77.
Yeah.
So frankly, if you're watching this show, you're one of those savvy players that's all you need right now. Yeah. That's all you need right now, and we'll get you more later. Can't talk about that, but we'll get you more later. Anyway, that's the 3 big things. And if you kind of want to see me for some reason, my specific like release cool pitch thing, it's at Friday at 11. It ends at 12, and it's at Stadium Meeting Room 10.
There you go. If you're from the podcast, make sure you let James know. Be like, I'm a punk. I'm a punk. I'm a tabletop punk.
If you're a tabletop punk, let me know.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, will you be running demo games other than Fossilized Violence?
I will not be running demo games at all, actually.
Oh, cool.
But will have personally trained 2 demo people to play with me, play in my spirit.
Yeah.
And that's I will be running one Cyberpunk game, but I'm pretty sure it's already sold out, so I don't want to. I gotta do one because I'm at the GenCon.
Yeah. It's your obligation.
Other than that, I kind of gotta. If you see me, say hi, but I gotta work, man.
Yeah. Yeah. They say make sure you work somewhere that you love and you never work a day in your life.
That's right. I don't work. I don't do any work.
No work.
Under those rules, I don't work at all.
Okay. So you went last year. Were there any goals that you wanted to meet this? Were you like, you know what, next year this is what I'm gonna do, and what are those things?
My goals for this GenCon. My goals for this GenCon are to I want to introduce people to, because I want to just give the perfect answers to the question, why should I play this game, when somebody asks. Because after the time is over, right? Gen Con's awesome. It's an amazing show, and it's like going to a amusement park, and it's great, and you have a great experience when you're there. But I wanna focus on the things that that people take home with them, and then they make the world better around them. Like, I want to get people into Cyberpunk that have never gotten themselves into Cyberpunk before, and then have it be their favorite game. And then we hear from them 2 Gen Cons later. Oh, I had this great experience. I wanna try to cause more of that good karma stuff. And I would love to meet somebody I can work with on 5xi. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really want to hear those pitches.
Yeah, that's really cool when you just crowdsource that kind of thing, or to get like a really cool new game. Dude, there's so many talented people out there that just don't have that opportunity.
I don't want to make my real cool game. I want to make their really cool game.
Yeah.
I want to help them get it to the amount of people that should be reading it. You know what I mean?
That's cool. That's fun.
I just want to find them.
Yeah, exactly. So you could play yourself, right?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Well, hey, I hope you guys have a really good time at Gen Con. Let me
You gotta
when
come
you come
someday.
back.
You gotta come someday.
Dude, I know. I'll definitely, I feel like in the future when my son is older, it will be going every year. We'll be hopping on a plane and going every year. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a thing for us. Fingers crossed.
I want that for you. I want that for you.
I want that so bad. I don't want him to be like, this is nerd stuff, Dad. I hang out with the cool kids.
Right. I just made Division 4 basketball. What are you talking?
No son of mine will play any foosball.
Oh, you're right. I was like, what if he's just the ping pong champion?
Dude.
And you're just going to every ping pong game.
You're no son of mine.
You're flying all the time.
Yeah. Oh man. But anyway, Gen Con, hope you guys have a good time. Safe flight, safe journeys, drink a lot of water, have a good time. Other than that, let's talk about the jacket. I know it's going to be in the title. People are going to be like, he's talking about the jacket. Let's get on this podcast. So definitely let's talk about the jacket. So
tell me how your players interacted with it. Start at the beginning, man.
So I'll start from the beginning. First off, I got an advanced copy, as many of you know, so I can do the video. And I immediately told my close group of guys, like, hey, I got a copy. I want to run it. Let's play. So I got my boys together. We decided to just do pre-made characters. Just pick one of the pre-made characters and make it your own. Add an accent, add a nationality, add a background, which is what you're supposed to do, according to the process. And that's what they did. So they made like unique characters using the pre-made character sheets. And the best part about all this is I experimented with a new way of playing Cyberpunk. I've done the virtual tabletop, I've done in person, and I've done theater of the mind. This time I'm going to do tabletop simulator. So okay. Tabletop simulator, for those of you who don't know, it's basically just a simulator of a tabletop. Many people play tabletop games on it, board games, RPGs, you name it. there's obviously a lot of support for D&D. There's like 1,000 games that you can play for D&D. For Cyberpunk, there's quite a few as well, because obviously we have a great community out here. So some of the talented folks out there made a one world for Cyberpunk. Have you heard of this thing called One World?
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about it either. And this is what blew my mind. So let me tell you something, James. Imagine you're setting up an in-person game. You have all this terrain. You put the terrain down on the table. You got the miniatures and everything, and you're just basically creating the scene and for your players. For example, there's a scene in the jacket. I'm not spoiling anything. No spoilers. Where you go to
Okay.
yeah. You go to a diner. Okay, I didn't spoil anything there, but going to there's something that happens outside of the diner maybe, and I want to set up that scene accordingly. I want to have a background. I want to have the terrain and stuff like that. So let's say we're playing in person. I get all that terrain. I put it on the table, and what do? I just have to hope that I can leave that stuff there, go home, come back, and it'll be there, right? Or I have to set it up again when I get there. That's like the tedious part of playing in person. What One World does is you build the terrain virtually on the tabletop, and it packs it away for you, and you just press a button and all of it comes back up. And so you could have like a file cabinet, basically, I'm using a metaphor, of different scenes, and you'd be like, oh, we're going back to the end cart station. Okay, end cart, boom, put it there. Terrain, everything is on there. The guy that works at the table, he's there. The terrain, everything. So we can virtually play Cyberpunk, and I don't have to spend copious amounts of time adding terrain. I do all that stuff beforehand. I set up all the scenes and everything. So when we play, I just press a button and we just go straight to that location.
That's a lot of effort you put into that.
It is a lot of effort.
I hope you're getting you're getting out what you put in on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely love it? Yeah, players they blew their mind, because you get to play with miniatures on terrain virtually, but there's still the whole verticality of terrain and going up and down stairs, and it's really fun to be able to do that. And I'll make a whole video about it, but just giving you an idea, that's how we're playing on Tabletop Simulator. Now, as far as it's good, as far as the adventure goes, we're having a great time. As I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's enough options within the game where you can change the difficulty and ramp it up or lower it at any time. So the adventure is really designed for everybody, but brand new players will have a great time with it. Even brand new game masters, it's got great tips for.
It is specifically written so that if you've never run a game before, you can run this. Yep. But it's not like, just want to be very clear. It's not teaching you like, here's how to do this specific thing. It's teaching you how to fish. I'm not handing out fish. It's teaching you how to fish yourself.
Yeah.
And then making that easy. So it's not, you won't feel like you're babied if you've played the game before and you read through this thing.
No, not at all. I'm a veteran player, obviously. All my buds are all veteran players as well. We've gone through like 2 campaigns together. So none of us ever felt like, this was a baby version of a campaign for us. Never. Yeah. What I did end up doing is there were scenarios like in the beginning, there's a fight that's supposed to be like a super easy fight.
Right.
Just so the game master has zero pressure and can run like a combat and not feel stressed out. Because combat can be stressful the first time you run it, for sure.
Right. But so people don't know what a range table is. It's
exactly.
They need like one. Here's your 10-minute tutorial, and then we're just gonna move.
It's a gimme for the players and for the game master, so it's like quick and easy, and it's it's flavorful for what's going on in the story as well. It's not like an unnecessary fight. It works. So what I basically did was I just made that fight harder, because I know I have veteran players. I added more guys. I added a little bit of a twist. One guy had like a flying drone with an explosive on it. You know what I mean? I just added something like that, and it made it a little bit more intense. And
you're telling me you read the free DLC Hardened Mooks,
dude? I did
the DLC Hardened Mooks.
Yeah, Oh,
Free
another
DLCs
cool.
on rtalsoriangames.com.
There it is, rtalsoriangames.com.
Is it going to be linked in the description?
I mean, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah, all the links will be there. So yeah, I'm running the jacket. My players are having a really good time. It's fun going from place to place, meeting characters that you know from the world. That's like, it's really, it's hitting that nostalgia bone, or what is it called? Cathartic? Is that the word?
Those are two very different things, my friend.
They're completely different things. But anyway, it's satisfying is what I mean to say.
Yeah. Like, the next thing you're gonna say is, it's just really doing the Schadenfreude for me.
Exactly. Oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah, the cathartic, nostalgic Schadenfreude.
Yeah, read a book.
I sound like
Read a book.
I sound like an ass. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, I do
Sorry.
editing. I edit stuff. Don't worry.
Good. Please do.
But yeah, basically my players are having a really good time with it. What we did notice that we didn't notice before, I was not rushed to make my video, but I had about a week or week and a half, and so I couldn't get through every single part of the kit. But obviously running it, I got to experience it more. The role abilities for the various roles have been simplified to something that you don't really have to look up. You know what I mean? It's something you can remember. For example, I believe, which one is it that the solo, he just gets +2 to initiative or something like that?
It's I have to say with those, for people that sentence may scare. That is just for the starter kit to give the feeling of those role abilities, because those role abilities, they take a lot of pages that we don't have in the starter kit. And it's a way of not like removing the flavor, but like it's what I could do.
No, it's
given the space I had.
So what I can tell you is, yeah, the role abilities are simplified and easier to understand. So that's a good thing, especially for new players. But my veteran players, I asked them, I said, hey, do you guys want to just homebrew that we're going to use the regular core rule book role abilities?
It totally works.
And you know what? They opted not to. They said, nah, it's okay. Let's just run it this way. Let's get through this adventure the way it's supposed to be played. They're having fun with it. They don't really care all that much about going that deep into it. So it works either way.
It works. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
What can I argue? It works.
Exactly. So, yeah, they're having a really good time. They're having a fun time experiencing Cyberpunk the way that we're doing it, because it's as close as you can get to playing in person. Maybe if we had like VR, it would be closer, or augmented reality would be almost there. You know what I mean? But yeah, the in-person thing is always going to be the best. Always going to be.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. But at least
Fossilized violence is about the in-person experience. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. No, the in-person experience is special. It really is. There's something there, like a je ne sais quoi. People are gonna unsubscribe, dude. But there's something there, an essence that you just can't capture.
You can't just say a word and then define the word in your next sentence like we're on HBO.
Je ne sais quoi, baby.
It has a je ne sais quoi, something that you can't really explain, but it's the essence that is there, and it's the essential meaning. Don't you understand? That's why I said it twice in an incredibly long way.
I just want people to know that
for the audience.
I just want people to understand my credibility, my name, JonJonTheWise. There has to be some kind of credibility.
There has to be the wise.
They can't tune in and be like, "This guy doesn't know big words." Am I talking to
the wise right now?
You only get the wise. Only my wife gets John.
There are two of them.
So yeah, the jacket's
personality. One is John, and the other is John the Wise.
Yeah, exactly. And JonJonTheWise is the internet personality. He's a robot.
There are two wolves inside of you.
Oh, shit. There are two wolves. That's a good one.
You've been feeding both of them, I see.
Yeah. There might be more than two. It's a pack, dude.
Only takes two to pack.
So yeah, that's basically it. I'm running the jacket. I can't say much else without spoiling. Oh, there is one other thing that I really loved. It's the day-to-day downtime activities. I'm definitely going to be taking that to my normal gaming because I think it makes the most sense. Like having something to do every day is cool. If we know like the story's going to take a big pause, then I'll do the other downtime activities that
Yeah,
are weeks and weeks.
I got that pacing from a I think I was reading, I don't remember which one. This is a bad. But I was reading a 2020 adventure, and I was like, I kind of like how the structuring of the time is part of the adventure. So then, I had to make this kludge to make that part of the adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence, we have the adventure. That's that part of that.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great. I did
Kind of why
find
I
the
like the thing in Wood Bandits where they don't come for a couple of days and then they wait and then they counterattack.
yeah. I will say my players forgot about looting because in our campaign when we play we none of my players really loot unless there's like something very special, like obviously special, but otherwise they don't really loot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found out in this game that we're playing, they're like, "Oh, I have no money." I'm like, "Well, I think you guys got to start looting." Or like trying to make deals or something. It's Cyberpunk, ask for money,
Right.
dude. There's the
Right.
trading skill. Oh, here's another big thing. There's a lot of skills in Cyberpunk, such as trading, that I haven't been using correctly or didn't know the intention behind the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I thought I did, but it's a different way. And it's a really great thing to run the adventure and see what you guys meant for these skills to do. And the examples are there in the adventure. So like it'll tell you like, hey, if you want a good deal, if the players want a good deal from this guy, a DV15 trading will cause him to lower the price or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, so trading is one of those skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We that was done intentionally to focus the new player experience on what makes a skill driven tabletop role playing game different than another game they may have played.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna say any names, but
Yeah, we all know what it is.
some things happen in a dungeon.
There might be dragons.
There might be a dragon or multiple.
Yeah,
And
dragon.
there might be both of them together.
It's dragon parentheses S.
Dragons and dungeons.
Dragons, mazes, and monsters.
Mazes and Monsters is really good. You should read it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the one on the history of. Is that the history of D&D?
Am I getting it mixed up? I thought Mazes and Monsters was was an indie fantasy game that I remember reading. And I remember something about a triangle.
Oh! It's
Is there
Tom.
something with a triangle and a circle associated with that?
It's the Tom Hanks movie. That was the Satanic Panic. Tom Hanks movie.
Never mind, guys.
Yeah, don't watch that one.
Rewind that track. I apologize to whichever indie designer has the game that sounds like that and reminded me of something.
Yeah, it was the Satanic Panic Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
movie.
Don't watch the Tom Hanks movie.
Which ironically
don't
might
watch
be,
the Tom Hanks movie, please.
It might be good, just to watch it knowing that it's a funny, depiction of something that's like literally we hang out, drink sodas, and eat Cheetos, and they're making it out to be like we're summoning demons in your mom's basement.
I wouldn't be happy if we got as far away from the Satanic Panic as possible, given that it's been like
it's a meme, dude. It's
almost
a meme.
40 years.
It's a super
40
meme.
years on.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a meme, dude. It's a meme. It's a meme as much as Pokemon and Harry Potter are demonic. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's all meming.
But they are.
But they are. Have you seen?
True.
If you take the Pikachu,
everything you heard is true. If you take the Pikachu, you put 5 of them, you splay their ears out. 1 Pikachu, 2 Pikachu, 3, 4. It's a star.
Mm-hmm. And not the good kind of star.
No. The bad
pentagram. Wait, that's the bad one.
Thank you for that joke. I really appreciate that.
All right. So anyway, yeah, that's the jacket. You're gonna play it if you haven't already played it. People have gotten it. It's out there. in people's hands. My game shop still hasn't gotten it yet. We're gonna wait. We're gonna be patient for the distributors.
We're working on it.
We're gonna be patient.
They are being shipped.
Yeah,
and there will be a bunch at GenCon. So if you don't have yours yet, you didn't order one, come get it at GenCon.
Yeah. Oh, the last thing I'll say, I think it's important to mention, the net running quick hacks thing has completely changed that role. Like, completely. It's one of my net runner in the game is now thinking of ways to do different quick hacks to solve the problems of things that are going on. There was one where we had to chase a guy on a subway, and he just puppeted him, and like I had like this giant map of like subway, you know. I'm like, all right, each cart is the first cart they got him, you know, they didn't have to go through all the, and then I injected a combat encounter in because I was like, all right, this happened too quickly.
So I will say that that system is pretty fleshed out, and it's not like if you take the time to get the book, get the box set, learn that system, we're not going to make you learn a brand new one come future projects in this arena. That's the sort of quality you might want to look forward to for the future.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's the jacket. Did you want to talk about James Hutt stuff? FV?
I mean, FV is coming to my seminar, man. And if you're at the show, come play the game. I'm assuming there's gonna be people talking about it. I'll give the quick version. It's a plastic dinosaur compatible tabletop role playing game where you play cavemen in a prehistoric world that's overrun with dinosaurs. Humans versus nature. Humanity is coming together as these dinosaurs are starting to evolve. Strange evolutions, like starting to foam from the mouth and get covered in weird slime, and some of them can fire laser beams. Some have huge burning claws. Really cool stuff. And the game is about cool boss fights with dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's like boss fights, right? Cooperative boss fighting.
Yes. They're attached together with freeform role play. But freeform role play is the type of thing where you either like it, you don't like it. But if you don't like the freeform role play, don't worry. All freeform role play has like a timer on it, sort of, where at that end of that timer, the story is moving forward in vignettes. And you're doing you're traveling across the world in these vignettes.
Yeah.
You fight some dinosaurs, doing some quests.
I want to
unlocking a ton of weapons. And you're customizing your caveman. There are a ridiculous number of combinations of how you can set up your cavemen. And as you play longer and longer, your future characters get access to more and more and more of the things.
Yeah, I just want a big bottle of alcohol on the table and all of us pretending we're cavemen fighting dinosaurs. Ugg is strong. Doug is weak. How dare you say such things of me?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's cool. Anything else with FV?
Mostly come and play it if you're at the show. We're just starting to show it off. This is Shadow Scar's time to shine with its first release. FV is coming in the future. You don't worry about it. We'll be there before you know it.
Yeah, when you get back, hopefully you can talk about the 5xI stuff.
When I get back, we'll chat more about FV.
Other than that, I've been playing Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is a fantasy version.
That's the fantasy. Now I really like fantasy Warhammer a titch more stylistically than I like 40K. Just because I always feel like it's very it's classic. It feels classic.
Yeah, no, for sure. The square bases, all that. It's a little bit confusing now because there was so much nostalgia for Fantasy Warhammer that they released Fantasy Warhammer. So this will be a little bit confusing, but Age of Sigmar takes place after Fantasy Warhammer in the lore. A controversial thing happened, which is like the end times of the classic old fantasy. and all those old fantasy armies are in this new Age of Sigmar. So it's just like an updated version of the game. It's very fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'll tell you right now off the bat, I have no desire to play Warhammer 40K and every desire to play Age of Sigmar right now. You know,
that's big coming from you.
I know, and it's a lot of fun. It's obvious the models are absolutely gorgeous, dude. Absolutely. They have the best models hands down in anything I've ever seen.
You was about to say the word compared too.
Yeah, it was, but I don't want to do that. That's not fair. That's not fair. Because 40K has some beautiful models.
He's trying to get 40 canceled.
40 canceled. No, what I mean to say that it's not surprisingly, but you would be surprised how beautiful the models are at Age of Sigmar. They're incredible models.
You know, John, I got to see you, like, you know, the painting YouTubers. I got to see you paint some of those.
Yeah,
I don't care how bad it is. I need to see the, like, please thin your paints level painting on these beautiful models. I just need to see them caked up in green.
Caked up.
Heavy green, no highlights.
None.
Show us your bad.
Oh man.
Show us your bad painting. Then, like, surprise us with one you tried on.
There's this guy that gets eBay's it's called like eBay Rescue.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts, dude.
Those are so good for my insomnia.
You never know what you're gonna get. I got an eBay haul once, and like literally all of them were different. They were all painted different, but when I stripped them, they all had different paint under them. So the last person didn't strip them; they just took fully painted models and painted over them. And it was, you know, I don't want to be mean, but it was objectively a worse paint job than what it was underneath. So like, dude, it's weird. It's wild. You never know what you're gonna get.
You can take the paint off layer by layer like that?
Yeah. There's this stuff called LA's Totally Awesome. It's $1 from the dollar store. You just pour that into a big container and just leave your minis in there overnight. Next day,
I can tell that's a hobby material because it has the name of a hobby material.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just use McElroy's super goo, and then that catches the legs perfectly.
Yeah, the name is ridiculous.
They all have names like that.
Yeah, it's a degreaser. It's what it is, and it's $1, so you could buy like 4 bottles, throw it into a container, and strip a bunch of minis. And then with a toothbrush, you know, obviously not the one that you're going to be using for your teeth, you just, you know, take it off, and you'll get most of the layers on. You don't have to get the primer off. That's what a lot of people don't really understand. When you get to the primer, just leave it. It's fine. You could prime it again. But it was a crazy journey. Some of them didn't have any primer. It went straight back to the gray plastic. Some of them were fully painted models, and I was going through 2 layers of different paint jobs. So it was wild, man. It was super wild. But anyway, Age of Sigmar. They just came out with a new edition, so that's why there's a lot of hype around it. There's, you know, the boxes, the starter sets, there's all that. Age of Sigmar 4.0. And they also released something called Spearhead, which is you buy these boxes, specific Spearhead boxes of each faction, and they're designed to play against other Spearhead boxes. Okay. So it's like a game within the game.
They did starter kits?
Yeah, they did little starter kits just so you could get involved.
No, they did dual decks. They did dual decks, but
that's exactly what it is. But it's also a different version of Age of Sigmar. It's like slightly different rules, not completely different, just in the way that you play it. That's all.
I mean, compatibility that's new for them.
Yeah, so it's I've been hearing from a lot of people that it's a lot of fun, and actually my local shop is going to be doing Spearhead tournaments and stuff like that. It was requested by the community, so a lot of people are getting into that. Yeah, it's good. 40K had its own version called Combat Patrol, and from what I've heard, this Spearhead is like a better version of it because it's just the next version of that idea. And that's how like 40K and Age of Sigmar work. It's Age of Sigmar comes out, they try innovative rules, and then they get feedback from the community, and then 40K learns their lesson from that edition and in their next edition they're like, hey, we have these new features.
That's everything. That's everything at Tau is just we're learning and we're changing. That's
so the cycle has moved forward. It was Age of Sigmar 3.0, then Warhammer 40k 10th edition came out, and so now Age of Sigmar 4.0 is out, and they learn lessons from everything previous, and it's just a funner game. It's than 3.0 is what I mean. It's just, it moves, it goes. There's things you can do on my turn. There's things I can do on your turn. But we always feel like we're doing something. We both can react to each other, and that makes it way more strategic. It's easy to understand stuff too, and it's like, okay, if he's gonna do that, he's gonna all out attack. I'm gonna all out defense. You know, and that's literally what some of the abilities are called. So tack on, beautiful models, easy to play, easy to get into. You have to have less models for a 2,000 point game, so the games are faster. It's easier to get into and all that. So I'm having a lot of fun with Age of Sigmar. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Well, I'm glad you have that, and I hope to see those miniature painting videos.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I was gonna say that's so hard. I tried to do it recently. I went live on my
looks
YouTube.
super hard.
It's so hard, dude. I don't know how these guys do it to get the right angle.
Setup. They got the setup.
They got it set up perfectly.
And they got the setup, and they got the setup perfectly because they screwed it up 30 times.
Yeah.
That you don't see.
Yeah.
That's how anyone does anything, right?
Yeah. They just got it down. They got it down perfectly, and I don't have it down.
You can get there.
I'll get there, yeah, sure. So yeah. Interestingly enough, I don't know if this matters to anybody, but the hobby side of Warhammer and stuff is far more popular than any other types of stuff about Warhammer, like battle reports, faction breakdowns, all that stuff. They dwarf in comparison of the hobbying stuff, which is crazy. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm the type of guy that'll watch I wouldn't watch a battle report video because halfway through I'm like, the Tau did what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
A laser?
No,
the problem. Gun, you're saying?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Some people like it. Honestly, I don't think it's much fun to watch a battle report.
I'll watch somebody paint a whole ass Tau.
Yeah, especially because you learn new techniques and stuff like that. So,
and to be honest, you can all those painting techniques. It's any modeling hobby. Those painting techniques are for any modeling hobby.
Anything, dude.
Make Gaslands cars. You customize some Hot Wheels. You can use the same highlights that people use on Warhammer models or on any type of models for any other thing. All those techniques they're all cross compatible. You even customize some dinosaurs. There's a dinosaur customizing hobby.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm not surprised.
Plastic dinosaurs, and then they add crazy new details to them, and then they'll cut them up and mash them together, and it's crazy.
That's cool, dude. That's so cool.
They make them look like dragons.
Yeah. That's so
kind of wild.
I love that stuff.
So I want to talk about the latest drop from JonJonTheWise Games. I want to talk about Mixed Blood Heroes. Did you get a chance to read?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately. Yeah, but tell me about it.
So Mixed Blood Heroes is a first off, right now it's a system showcase. I'm just showing off, hey, here's this idea I got. But I'll be re-releasing the system showcase. We got it's 34 pages. And it's coming out with the next JonJonTheWise Games newsletter, which you can get access to by signing up at JonJonTheWise.com. And if you don't do it, you kind of don't get it.
Yeah.
You'll get the next one maybe. But
I have it open right here so I can.
Yeah. So this is this is my idea for a character creator for a fantasy world. Heroic fantasy game. There's a couple of key features of this heroic fantasy game. The first thing that I want is that I want players to be able to be whatever, mashup of races in the world that they want, right?
Like an elemental cyclops or a minotaur ogre.
I want someone to be able to, but importantly, I don't just want you to choose, I'm this and this and this. I want people to choose which proportionality in their lineage is that, right? So you can be 1/6 Cyclops and then 5/6 Fire Elemental.
Got it.
Or you can be, 1/6 Lizard Folk, 1/6 Harpy. And then, honestly, the way the rules are, you could fill out the rest of that fraction with 1/6.
Yeah, I can see here it says 1/6, 5/6, a quarter, 3/4, a third, 2/3, half, and I guess you'd add another half. So it would be so it always has to add up perfectly to 1.
It has always got to add up to 1.
Yeah.
And then you put them together. They've got sort of life path tables for what that might look like. It's not prescriptive. And I hope to eventually have, rules for each proportionality, and you get the ones underneath your fraction as well.
Yeah.
So if you're 1/4, you'll also get the 1/6 benefit and the one, you get the idea.
Yeah. Totally.
But right now it's just, hey, isn't this cool? Check this out, and you can fully build the flavor of a character right now in the system showcase. Here's sort of the path I want to take on it, just so you might want to follow this as it develops. So currently, tables in that system showcase are pure flavor. In the future, I want mechanical differences at each rung. But I don't plan on stopping there at character generation. The vision is I want to make this a game where you can have fine control over what type of hero you want to play. You can make your own bloodline. Then you get to make your own class. I even want you to build your own equipment. I want it to be a game for builders of characters and role players of characters alike. Importantly, I want to make it really low progression. So you build your character, and then you build what they'll be when they're a veteran. And if you finish one adventure, you're a veteran. And then the idea is that you can bring that character to whatever campaign you play in the future in this game. So you don't have to stop playing the character that you've invested your emotional connection in when the campaign ends. I've heard from a lot of, people like D&D that they don't want to stop playing their dwarf when, they're done playing Curse of Strahd. I really like that guy, but I can't play him because now the game master wants to go to level 1 again, right?
Yeah.
This is my way to get around that by saying, no, this is he, and he is here, and he can go on another adventure, and to keep it balanced with the idea that there would only be one Dragon Saplock. There would not be 12 at every tier of the 20 levels of D&D.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
If the enemy gets stronger every time you get stronger, have you progressed?
No.
It's a false progression.
Yeah.
I think the real progression comes from the story of the character and from, honestly, your player skill changing and you wanting to express yourself as a player differently. And this game seeks to provide, essentially a dragon is always going to be as powerful as a dragon because it's a gosh darn dragon.
Yeah. I like that.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's a good way to deal with I know like video games like Skyrim, for example, the enemies do level up with you as you level up. But what they've cleverly done is the enemies will now have different names. So it's not just a skeleton, it's like a ancient skeleton, you know what I mean? And then now there's an ancient skeleton archer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Slightly different.
Slightly different. And then there will be an ancient skeleton necromancer. So he's like the big boss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but if you like, if there's like 2 stages, right? If there's, I'm starting out and then I'm fully established. I mean, anyone who completes one adventure should feel like a hero character.
Yeah.
To be honest. Wow, he's the guy that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
took down that sorcerer.
It's a feather in your cap.
It's a feather in your cap, and every feather past the first is, I mean, you read a lot of superhero comics, you'll have this problem where the older heroes have saved the world 1 billion times, and there are newer heroes that just came out that did it once, and then the story has to treat them the same, and it makes no sense.
Oh,
Superman doesn't need to team up. You know what I mean? He
yeah.
doesn't need to be here. Why is he here? This is not the most efficient place to put Superman today. You know what I
Unless,
mean? How can
unless,
this be the worst thing happening on Earth right now?
yeah,
Right?
you know,
Um,
or Superman's the bad guy. That's a good one. When Superman becomes the bad guy.
I have to admit, I do like the Injustice plotline.
Yeah.
I do like the Injustice plotline a lot. It's right up there with Batman Beyond for me.
Oh yeah, I like Batman Beyond as well. Yeah, sick.
So good, so good.
So I am
so yeah.
seeing a lot of like D100 charts, you know, that you roll on. It's all life path generator in Cyberpunk Red, kind of.
Yeah, there's also a world generator here because I wanted to show a world that isn't it's actually a pretty beefy world generator, I'm going to be honest, but it's meant to show that the world isn't mostly comprised of humans and then other fantasy races.
Yeah.
This is a truly, multicultural fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's not a humanocentric Lord of the Rings style thing.
Yeah.
Although,
you have
Lord of the Rings isn't humanocentric, but it is Hobbit centric, which is the same.
Humanoid. Yeah. Yeah. Elves, hobbits, dwarves, humans. They're the good guys. They're the good guys. Remember?
Right. Right. Yes. Yeah. We're looking to get away from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by we, I mean me.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's old already. We've evolved. Cool.
So at the end of the day, I just want to make a fantasy game here where the storytelling and tactical gameplay come together to create a sandbox for, you and your best friends to role play in. I want to distill the core about what I love about fantasy roleplay without the historical shackles of fantasy roleplay. And I hope you'll join the newsletter at jamesgames.com and watch it develop through these system showcase drops, which might not be every month, but they're certainly the core feature of the newsletter. Go check it out.
There you go. Yeah, I like the different charts in different regions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be specific, there's just like the random region.
Yeah, and there's
you can pick.
There's different region weightings too.
Exactly,
depending
like
on the type of story, maybe world. Like there's one like maybe you want to be in a more dark fantasy thing.
Exactly what I was looking at. Dark fantasy.
Maybe you want to be in a more high fantasy thing.
Yeah.
And then I think I called it Sword and Sandals.
Sword and Sorcery.
Sword and Sorcery. That's more I want to be in a pulp fantasy thing, which is different. That's Conan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the difference between Conan and Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, 100%.
They're different.
100%. They have, there's that Venn diagram where there's stuff in the middle where like everything sucks. That's in the middle. But other than that, so yeah, that's cool. And then there's also what did I just say? Also or also?
Also. You said
I said also, didn't I?
But you meant also, and I think we all knew what you meant.
I'm losing my mind. According to how much blood is in your system for that race, you may look different.
Yes. There are 33 like 8 entry tables that are purely flavor for here's what this might look like.
Like if you're half Cyclops, your hands are capable of rendering elemental magic physical.
I did a bunch of like mythology research and stuff. They make Zeus's thunderbolts.
Yeah.
They make them physically on an anvil, and they have to, in order to do that, they have to.
That's pretty cool. And
you can't hold on to, can't catch fire in your hand, right?
Yeah, no, you can't. If you're a demon, half demon, a pair of animal horns grow from the forehead, so that's nice. But if you're a 6th demon, you have a perfectly symmetrical face, dude.
Or a celestial, they both get that.
Oh, cool.
They kind of there's an interplay. There's a story to be told here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
got
it.
some cool stuff.
Oh, I guess I'm a 6th dwarf because I have fast-growing, thick facial hair.
There you go. And there's the human table is my favorite because that treatment is for everyone, including humans. Humans get stuff like just have a distinctly human-shaped nose.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
you sweat a lot.
yeah.
A lot of these other fantasy races, they don't sweat a lot. You
Yeah.
sweat a lot.
Underarm hair.
And I will add, once when I'm laying in the like actually what this level does, it may not relate to the what it looks like column.
Yeah.
It's meant for it's a jump off for your own idea.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to make humans being able to sweat, make them be able to restore stamina or something,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is. Like, really, that's animal wise. That's why we're really good at hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because we're really fast, because we can run for a really long time.
Yeah, we can adapt to any situation. I'm hoping that if I keep working out and I'm consistent, I'll be 5/6 orc, and I'll have a muscular body, especially arms and upper back.
Yes. Yes. I have a bunch of different versions of that, depending on, like, the Minotaur has a different kind of build idea associated with them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to balance these as much as I can, but I'm gonna be honest. When you don't have to balance across 20 levels
Mm-hmm.
of progression, you can have things that are interesting and do interesting things because you're not designing around having a class that's going to evolve 20 times.
Yeah.
Or have to exist in 20 increments. That means you can have smaller, bigger, more interesting increments for gameplay.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
Is it balanced? Well, it can be balanced in one way and imbalanced in another way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, these are narrative things anyway, so you can interpret it any way you want. Having
It's
horns
true.
coming out of your head can be a good or bad thing depending on the situation that you're in. You know what I mean?
Or even be a bad thing when a lot of the world is satyrs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just normal.
So my question is, if you're like 5/6 of a species, do you get all the other what it looks like below as well? So it's like all of them from got
it. Stacks up.
It stacks. Got it. Yeah.
Same with the gameplay thing when those come in.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And then you'll have 1/6 of the other one.
I like this. It's really cool. I think there's a cool way to make NPCs as well because of the charts you can roll on.
Yeah.
You can make really unique.
You could definitely just start generating dudes.
Yeah.
With this. Building. Start building. Anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I got Beetle World 2 in the wings. But that's a long, long project because I want to do the art in a very special way. So I'm gonna be writing that in pieces for like
the art's gonna be beautiful.
2 more years, easy. But
yeah.
This one might even come up for it.
Yeah, you could get lost.
It might fail.
Well, that's how any creative
that's how these things
goes,
work.
Right? Yeah, exactly, right. That's
why you're on the James Hook Games newsletter, so you can watch it fail in real time.
Here's some wisdom for you guys. Either it'll be good or it won't. So that's pretty cool. Good luck with that. JamesHuttGames.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Join the Discord. The link for the Discord will be in the description. I'm telling you, all the links are there, baby.
Oh yeah. You can get into the Discord via these videos, or we put out a link every time we put out a newsletter.
Yeah, that's that. All right, James. I think that's about it. We did our thing. We talked about stuff. I want to wish you.
This is a good one.
Yeah, of course. I want to wish you a very merry trip all the way to Indiana for GenCon. Have a safe trip. Don't eat the shellfish because I believe it's landlocked, isn't it? I don't know.
No, they have really good shrimp.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. This is an amazing place to get shrimp at GenCon. I can't remember the name of it, but they're wild.
Hell yeah! Well,
and
then
no
eat the
free
shellfish.
promo.
Yeah, no free promo. We're not gonna. But
Call me shrimp place that I like near the convention center.
Yeah, Indiana. All right. Yeah. Other than that,
you that fossilized violence license. You just call. You want the fossilized violence license for your shrimp restaurant? You just call.
That's right. FVs, baby. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. You guys can hit us up on Discord. Hit us up at tabletoppunks@gmail.com. Send us your stories. Send us your ideas about tabletop gaming. Anything and everything. We'll talk about it on the show. And anything else you want to say to the kind folks out there?
No, I'd just love to hear your feedback via that email. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
get some questions in. I really like answering questions on our previous podcast.
Yeah, it was fun, right? It was fun when we had questions to answer. So yeah, and if you go to GenCon, definitely go hit up the Artelstorian booth. You know what? Hold on. You
gotta hit up that Artelstorian. Oh yeah, show them where it is.
It's gonna be GenCon Exhibit Hall, location booth number 249. Game and demo room are ICC 143. Okay? That's where you're going to find them. Look out for the Shadow Scar starter kit. Look out for the Edge Runners mission kit, Fossilized Violence, and 5 by Infinity. 5 by Infinity.
5 by Infinity.
Yeah, FXI. That's it. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Yeah.